the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Next at 6, after months of turmoil, a new director named for DC's troubled 911 call center, who will lead the embattled agency.
And calls to remove a controversial monument showing a black man kneeling to President Abraham Lincoln, its problematic history and efforts to take it down.
And the Pentagon continues to refuse to shoot down a suspected Chinese spy balloon floating over the U.S. Why it's forcing the U.S. to cancel a high-stakes trip to Beijing. Well, 56 million people under wind chill alerts right now from the upper Midwest to the Northeast, even to here parts of the DMV. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 6 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Taseen Mahfouz. And guess what? It's going to be brutally cold tonight. Let's get right to meteorologist and our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb. Janessa, the wind chill could hit 0. Ooh.
Yeah, we're talking for an extended period of time here just solely in the district. Farther to the west across I-81 into Washington County, Frederick, Maryland, I think we will be in negative digit territory for a good 12 hours. After sunset tonight, which is currently happening, really going to feel this biting down cold across all of the DMV. Right now, we only meet criteria for a wind chill advisory for Garrett County. I am expecting tonight some of these advisories to expand into Front Royal, into Germantown as well, portions of Montgomery County. So we'll keep you updated on that. Now, that wind chill advisory is going to last until tomorrow morning, expecting that to linger into about the noon hour for your Saturday before we kind of see this warming trend. Satellite composite radar, there is a little bit of lake enhancement bouncing off of Lake Erie into Garrett County. So we're expecting just a little bit of snowfall, but really the bitter cold is the focal point for the next 36 hours. 19 degrees for the Kaiser area. This is the ambient temperature, not what it feels on your skin. So let's get to the nitty gritty of things. Winchester, 4 degrees, feeling like the single digits for Martinsburg as well. We're currently at 13, but we're nearing 0 for tonight. The big weather story is a good part of the district going to be in negative digits down to potentially 5 to 10 below. We'll look at more of this in your extended forecast, guys.
All right, Janessa, thanks. All new tonight. D.C. has a new 911 director. The troubled agency has come under fire for problems that have even led to deaths.
Yeah, and today's announcement came one day after DC News Now reported that interim director Karima Holmes' last day is next Friday.
Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming was at the mayor's news conference today.
And Leonard, Mayor Bowser acted quickly to get a director in place.
That's exactly right. Mayor Bowser moved quickly to get someone in place for a position that is critical to responding to emergency calls and coordinating various agencies in critical situations. And the mayor believes Heather McGaffin is the right person for the job.
And I'm very confident that we have a great leader in Heather to lead our agency.
That is Heather McGaffin, the mayor's pick to lead the 911 call center. The agency's had its share of problems with misrouted calls and mistakes that have led to multiple deaths. McGaffin is no stranger to the off-troubled agency that's under intense scrutiny.
Director McGaffin joined OUC in October 2020 as the Chief of Special Operations and Executive and Investigations and became Deputy Director in February 2022.
The previous director was Karima Holmes. City Council warned the mayor that Holmes would not get the job permanently because of leadership problems outlined in a DC auditor's report. McGaffin started as a voluntary EMT for a local fire department at 16 years old, Bowser says.
I have had the ability to work in multiple centers across this nation, both internally and as a support in helping to restructure.
She admits it will be a challenge.
We are going to be strong in the work that we do and remain transparent and accountable in that work.
Bowser says that she thinks McGaffin is the best person suited for the job, even after a national search.
I've had an opportunity to talk to people who are inside the agency, outside the agency, and people who have questions about the agency. And what they want is a person who knows 911 from the inside and out, and that is the leader we have in Heather.
McGaffin is serving currently on an interim basis, at least until the mayor sends her nomination up to City Council for a hearing and approval. She will undoubtedly face serious questions about holding call center employees accountable. Her first day in the new role, February 13th. Reporting from the studio, Leonard and Fleming, DC News Now. Back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you. Well, an Arlington teenager has been arrested on trespassing, stalking, and weapons charges. Police say 18-year-old Keenan Owens walked into Wakefield High School Thursday to try and locating someone he was arguing with. Police say when they arrested Owens, he had possession of 3 firearms, one with a removed serial number. He's being held right now without bond.
And several people, parents and families and kids, they came out to march over drug overdoses in Arlington County. It happened this afternoon at Wakefield High School in Arlington. People showed posters and signs displaying "Your life matters and you are not alone." Again, this comes after that student at the high school died of an apparent drug overdose.
My heart is broken, but I can't even imagine the family of our student, just the situation and the pain that they're feeling, and that's what I want to keep foremost is kind of what that family is dealing with right now.
And the CDC says that the number of teen overdose deaths started rising exponentially during the pandemic. They say it's because the drugs, mainly fentanyl, are much more lethal.
And developing right now, police are investigating a crash that killed a 34-year-old man who was in a crosswalk. It happened last night on Central Avenue at Campus Way in Kettering. A truck blew through a red light and struck that victim. Investigators say the driver left the scene but did later return. Police have not yet released that victim's name. Well, the West Virginia House of Delegates has voted to ban credit card companies from tracking the purchase of guns and ammunition. Some credit cards do that with an electronic code, but there are concerns they're creating a national database of gun owners. Critics say that's a clear violation of the Second Amendment. The House approved the ban with a unanimous bipartisan vote.
95-0, you like to see that, certainly. And I think this is a privacy concern as well. I mean, on either side of the aisle, I think that's why it's bipartisanly supported. What are we going to track next, right? So now it's guns and ammunition today. What happens next?
If the bill becomes law, any credit card company that tracks gun and ammunition purchases in West Virginia will be banned from bidding on any state contracts. The bill now goes to the state Senate.
And a 62-year-old man arrested accused of inappropriately touching 2 children at a swimming pool. So the latest incident happened this morning, police say, at Claude Moore Park Pool in Sterling, Loudoun County. Another assault was reported last month. The suspect, Michael D. Taylor, is charged tonight with 2 counts of assault. Police believe there may be more victims out there. If you know anyone, please contact police. And developing now in the district, D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton renewed her calls to remove a controversial monument from Lincoln Park showing a black man kneeling to President Abraham Lincoln. Now, this is not the first time that Norton has introduced the bill. In a letter to the House Speaker, Norton noted that discriminatory statues and the likeness of them have been taken down, including a replica of this one that was removed in Boston in the year 2020. Now, our Dave Laval will have more on the efforts to remove the statue tonight on DC News Now at 9 and 10. And Democrats are renewing their efforts to protect patients who want to travel out of state for abortions. Yeah, members of the pro-choice caucus reintroduced a bill to push back on punishments that anti-abortion states are considering. Our Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports from Capitol Hill.
People have the right to travel.
House Democrats rallied Thursday for their bill to prohibit anti-abortion states from punishing patients who go to a pro-abortion state for the procedure.
To protect the health, privacy, liberty, and dignity of women and families across this country.
Texas Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher said her state should not punish companies who help employees cross state lines for abortions and include abortion care in their benefits. Colorado Congresswoman Diana DeGette argued many patients already face enough hurdles when traveling to access care.
They might lose their jobs. They have to pay for transportation. They have to pay for lodging.
Washington Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland stressed restrictions like these disproportionately impact the poor and people of color.
We want to make sure that the ability to get access to safe and legal abortion is available for all people, regardless of your background.
Anti-abortion groups are working with Republicans to ban abortion nationwide. And the White House said threats like these highlight the need for broader federal protections for pregnant and postpartum workers, particularly minorities.
Too many women have been denied just simple basic support.
This week, President Joe Biden touted a new law that gives these new and expected parents more leave and workplace protections.
Like letting them have water breaks, bathroom breaks, sit down and work breaks. Can you imagine asking that? My Lord.
But the president said the country still has a long way to go. In Washington, I'm Jessie Tenor.
And today is National Wear Red Day to raise awareness for heart disease in women. Now, the American Heart Association says cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women, with 1 in 3 deaths each year. Now, from landmarks, police departments, and local leaders, people around the DMV are showing their support. And this year's theme is Be the Beat. That's to share healthy habits with your online community, things like sleep, stress, physical activity, nutrition, or whatever works best for you, and encourage others to do the same.